Cool. All right. Peace to the family. All right. Let's go ahead and get started real quick, man. We're gonna make this not gonna keep y'all too long today. Make this real quick. I know y'all in the rain, so a lot of people should be home today. Been raining all day on my side. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get it.
It's been off and on over here.
Let's go ahead and get it cracking. All right, so I'm gonna introduce myself and I'll let CJ go in. And if anybody else come in, we'll get them going. All right, so I'm Brandon B. Dixon, MLS 1541210. It's at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. Also, you go to the YouTube. It's at Billionaire Loan Officer on the YouTube as well. Go to my website, www.applywithb.com. I just not figured out, too. I'm going to start sending people. They got reviews on my website. I didn't know that's built in. I'm going to have to start utilizing that. I just not noticed that today. So instead of pointing people toward Google, I'm going to start pointing them towards the website. So, all right. And you can contact me anytime, 832-775-8357. Contact me 24/7. Also, it's at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media as well. Go to my website, www.brandonbdixon.com. Also, I'm a luxury agent, so you can book me for if you want to sell, lease, also if you want to list as well. Last but not least, go to www.cocinvestmentclub.com if you want to go ahead and mitigate your risk. We do have an investment club. Also, I'm offering a special as well right now. If you want to learn the investment game, get at me. I'm gonna have a course as well. So learning how to real estate invest. So get at me with that. I got that going right now. So I think that's it. Oh, I want to say a special shout out to everybody that came through at the event yesterday, LenderCon. It was a good video. I know the rain prevented a lot of people from coming in, but it was a good event. Had some good food there. A lot of people flew in, so good time. So we got another event coming probably toward the end of the year, maybe the last quarter. So we got another event. So be on the lookout for that. So we're going to be announcing that soon. So with that being said, CJ, I'll let you get you queued up here. Here we go.
What's up, everybody? CJ, the Realtor Broker, owner of Greenwood Realty Group. Follow me on social media at CJ Sales Texas. That is CJSELLSTX. Also, check out the website, greenwoodrealtytx.com. If you want information as a seller, buyer, or agent, we got that information for you on there as well. Got the YouTube channel, CJ the Realtor, where we got a lot of good information on what's going on in the neighborhoods, our highlights for our local business owners, and some of our home tours with our Lux Edition. And that's showing you some of the luxury properties in Houston. So go on there, subscribe, share, give me some feedback on that. And then, of course, we do give back with our mentorship program, the Mansa Academy. Go to the mansaacademy.org and you get some information on that where we teach our young men knowledge of self-improvement and entrepreneurship.
Gotcha. All right, so while I prepare the banner for the show real quick, kind of give you a little background. In fact, cue up the first clip. The first clip is the one with the Gotta Be Me podcast. I stumbled across these two girls scrolling through YouTube, and I don't know how they came across my feed, but they did. But what struck me was strange, which is crazy, was how they was dressed. So they were dressed covered up, and they no sexual background or anything like that, and it was just straight up intellectual spitting. So it was that's crazy. That was odd. We so used to being over sexualized and overstimulated. Everything got to be ratchet and and got to be shock value and got to be something low IQ or something to that effect. So it just struck me as strange. It was so different from the norm. You know what I mean? So I had to do a little bit of digging. So I did some digging. Checked out their parents, and the dad was on the show, and all the dads and it just, I wanted to do a show on, and it just kind of struck me, all came together, man. it's that tough love, that kind of makes the results, and that's kind of what we're missing. That's kind of why we um act how we act. It's because I think we're missing that tough love, because that masculine love. I think we dipped on it a little bit before. I don't think I think we did it. We touched on it a little bit before from one clip, but I think we need to do a whole show on this, man. Masculine love, how we miss it, what we miss, and I think this is a result of what we got now. We watching the results. Like, everything is kind of chaotic and over sexualized and hyper stimulated, and because the competition is getting soft, and and I think the world's getting stagnant. This is the first generation I think is going to be the next generation going to be worse off than the previous. So I was reading something on that as well. So Barry, I'll let you introduce yourself, and we'll go dive right into the topic, and I want to show y'all what I'm talking about. Let me see. I think I got you queued up here. Here we go.
All right, how is everybody doing? This is Barry B from Homes by Barry B. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in Houston and surrounding areas, you can give me a call at 832-786-1270. Call or text me, or you can email me. You can put in Google Homes by Barry B. You're going to get all of my social media numbers, email. I'm on YouTube, all the social medias. So let's give me a call and let's talk about your goals for the year.
Gotcha. So, man, I wanted to do. Let me show you what I'm talking about first. Let's go ahead, run that "Gotta Be Me" clip first, and then let's see what I'm talking about. And I'll let y'all react.
Running after about oppression, about the system, about slavery, about racism, about whatever, by making so much information available that there was no way to sort through it all and find out, okay, this is good, this is bad, this is good.
There's just so much information available, and to find out what's miseducation and what's not, we honestly really do need education about our education, because who's writing the narrative? Who's telling the story? The victors always tell the story, right? And on top of the victors, the system generally writes the story outside from a prophetic narrative. If it's not coming from a prophetic narrative or interpreted through a prophetic narrative, then you're probably getting misinformation, and that is hard to sort through.
So I'll let y'all react. I'll let y'all react first. Like, what do y'all see that's different on that clip? Like, it's one of those, what do you see that's missing on that clip? You know what I'm saying? What do you see that's different or odd, or what strikes you on that clip that's strange, or what do you see, period?
Were they talking about something specific or just in general?
No, they were talking about education.
Yeah, I think I believe one thing is we always talk about the information is out there, but you definitely have to sort through what is correct and what is embellished and what is straight lies.
Right. But what do you notice? Not necessarily what they're saying, but what do you notice just about the clip, period?
What did I notice about the clip?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're getting at. I
don't know how they look pretty young.
Right.
Not a lot of makeup, no eyelashes, natural. Right. They're covered up. Yep.
Yeah, I did notice that second one. Yeah, it seemed like she had like one of them long
dresses on, not showing no skin. They young. They Generation Z definitely. So they definitely young. Natural hair, no eyelashes, no makeup. They saying they talking on a point that's not sex related. They got a book in the hand. They actually reading a book. They saying they're more than 2-syllable words. When they talking, they articulating a point. It's like, man, I hadn't seen this from this generation. Every generation, every clip you see is something, period, and and trying to talk slang and trying to be hip, and you got that same thing over and over and over. So they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to outdo each other on the same thing. So this is like totally different. Like, man, I ain't never seen no young girls covered up, and I never seen that.
Well, you know what? I think it's out there, but but the other side gets pushed more.
Right. But
I
don't
have
see it.
talked to young people that have sense, and
Right.
they can speak and they can
Right.
articulate their point, but they don't get pushed out in
Right.
in this social media age and all that.
Yeah, and what they're talking about is valid because
Yeah.
like this age
They
of
don't get the
information,
likes.
but this
They
age
don't
of
get the likes
misinformation
and
too.
shares.
Right. So they got a following too.
Do they?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Gotta Be Me podcast. So it's like I just stumbled upon them like today. So I just kind of found it interesting, and I start thinking like, man, look, they got a show with the dads and the moms on there. The kind of like their upbringing, like, and they you can tell they are a product of what the dad. They have a strong father. Both of them have strong fathers. So I just kind of want to do a show. We touched on this before. I got a couple of array of different clips, but I got a few clips kind of on the same subject of like, man, tough love. I think that's what we're missing, man. And I think that's important from the last few days events. We're going to tie this all together. The last few days events. It's going to come a decision this year, man. The next one, we're going to have to show some tough love, man. It might not be what you want to hear or what you think is best, but I mean, what you makes you feel good, but is what's best for the country.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Best for the
but with that, you have to have somebody that's responsible to get that tough love.
Right. That's another.
Who are their fathers?
Right. Right.
They have to be on that level.
Right. Let's roll one of the clips and let's see what I'm talking about. So that kind of, I just wanted to show you what spawned the actual conversation. Like, I just thought that you see the end product. I think that's dope. To have them young girls out there like that.
Now look, I got something to tell you, and don't get upset because it's for you. I'm taking you out of gymnastics for the rest of this month. Keep running. Come on, slide on over here. Come on, relax. I'm crying. Go, pick it up. Guess what? It's for you. You've been walking around here like you know everything. You're acting all arrogant. You got this attitude. Your grades been slipping. You need to keep going. Don't stop. You ain't doing it but going to the park. Let's go. Gonna get your butt up every morning. You're gonna run. You're gonna work on these pull-ups, and you're gonna get stronger. You're gonna develop your body. You're gonna develop your mind, and you're gonna develop some damn character. And it's trying to show me you want this. Right? Huh? She's going in the Marine Corps. No, she's supposed to be a gymnast. She gotta get her attitude together. Let's go. It ain't just about because you can flip. That ain't what it's about. You really want to do this, you're gonna have a good attitude. You're gonna have to have awesome character all the way to the bench. There you go. 1. I need 20. Everything got to develop. Everything. And you as a person. You really want this? All right, well, you're gonna show me at the house. Well, how you act, how you treat your brother and sister, how you respond to me, how clean you are, how responsible you are. Now look, I got something to
all right, I'll let y'all go in first, man. All of us are respected fathers on this, so
I love it.
Right.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, that tough love is necessary.
Right.
It's like what you do when you what's the quote? What the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Right. Or something along those lines.
Too many people want to be their kids' friend and everything. No.
Right.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You have to develop them. And if they not acting right, man, it's your responsibility because you're not gonna be here forever.
Right.
And one thing I tell mine, I'm like, you black male, you already got 2 strikes against you.
Right.
I don't care wherever you go, whatever you do. I heard somebody say one time, it was on something that said you got to be twice as good just to get half as much.
Right. No, that's a fact. It's 2 to 1, maybe 3 to 1 sometimes. You got to put in 3 times the effort just to get the same actually recognition, if to be recognized at all, just to be in the ball game. So it's a different it's a different category. But what I would say is, I don't know, man. That is a breath of fresh air. But me personally, I would be scared to even go that hard. Like, it's like it's different when you like, you in separate households. Like, we in a household, you might could do that, but yeah, it's like they put us, single fathers, like, where they don't have the wife in the household. It's like it's a position where you just a wallet. So I couldn't even get that, that audacious with it. I had to tiptoe around, tough love, and that, you couldn't be like that out in the open with it.
But
so
you know what?
It's almost like they decapitate me. You take all your power away. So it's like you can't be that authoritarian. You can't. You got to kind of be. All right, here's some advice. Please take it. You know what I mean? You got to kind of be. You know what I mean? As soon as you.
I think, and that's why even though you and or the man and woman not together, y'all got to get on the same page with the child. But if there's animosity from either side, it's gonna be rough.
And that's why we got to push, the real narrative of keeping families together,
right,
and teaching men and women how to choose the right person.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, my mom and dad weren't, they got divorced when I was young, but they was on the same page.
Right.
If it wasn't no go ask my dad and my mom one thing, she say no, I can go ask my dad. Nah, they was on the same page with it, even though they weren't in the same household.
Right. But I think I'm not alone with this. I think, several of us, like, if you had odds, it's like, you can't do much. And then, like, depends on, I definitely agree with CJ. Definitely, I didn't know how to pick. Especially if you're trying to reproduce yourself, you're trying to have a person have your seed. All you taught is what you see on TV, and again, that's not having that, direct male figure. So you just thought, all right, you just go by the body, you just look like, who, and you don't go by what's the brains or look at the father, look at the family or look at, you're not thinking like that. You're just thinking on the lower level. Brown.
Hey, so, what is it? Don't trust the big boot and the smile.
Right. So you more thinking like that, and then you don't realize that there could be a lot of repercussions and implications later on. So like, yeah, you powerless. I wish I could be that bold with it. I couldn't even teach no lessons. You know what I mean? So like, it's rougher. But I definitely agree. I think that, and then that's another thing, picking that particular mate that's most acceptable to that, you could then in turn teach your children a lot easier because that's what they expected. If they come from a household where the woman running things, it's absurd to even say anything. So it starts from one place, like Tetris, one block, that block just keep falling down. If you come from, they raised in that household, you try to come with that masculine energy, and that masculine energy they were never raised like that. You try to teach it's even more ridiculous.
Yeah, and I see so many now. It's like, and you look at the kids and you're like, man, what is he gonna be like in 5 years? What are they gonna be like in 10 years? Like, man,
right, and trust me, this all relates to real estate. For our real estate people, we're gonna talk about that a little. We're gonna twist it. Let's go ahead. Let's get to the next clip. I think I got one of your clips, Barry B, up in there. I think I sent one of your clips, but we're gonna just play it.
Don't know how to raise children. When my kid came to me and he said, Daddy, a wheel came off my toy car, and he gave it to me. I said, so it did. I threw it in the garbage. I went back to my magazine. Then I watched that lower lip part off. Then he started crying. I said, what's the matter? He said, you throw it away. I said, I'll get you baby toys where the wheels don't come off. He said, well, maybe I can fix it. So I gave it to him again. And he's sitting on the couch and he gets it together. In just a minute or two, gets it together. Then you pick up, how did you do that? Wonderful. He says, I'm not that little. But how did you do it? Did the hole in the wheel, yes. See the piece of iron sticking up? I put the hole in and push button. I said, that's wonderful. But you say here, let daddy do it, let mommy do it. You produce a blob. You know what that means? You solve all your kids' problems. You have to put things upon them. People don't know how to raise children.
Right. So, yeah. So that's another thing, man. Like I said, I think I did this show like that show I did about 3-4 years ago. Actually, probably 4 5 now. Too much mommy, not enough daddy. It's like we wanted this. I don't know. Is it pampering, and then it's part laziness though too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, let me just fix it for you. Stop whining. Boom, and getting gone so I can finish what I'm doing. So now you got it all pays the price, especially in that 1 to 7. Like, you got to kind of take the long road in order to get the results that you want sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it's assisting in the development.
Right.
So not just, babying them, you're teaching them how to use their brain.
Right.
Yes, problem solving.
Yeah.
Right.
But
even that, like I said, is not always peaches and cream. That's the thing. Like, teaching is not always, nurturing. Sometimes teaching, especially while we're here, teaching is sometimes rough. Sometimes you got to, and you're not gonna teach everything without some type of conflict.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
my daughter's young, and she's like, she gets frustrated when she struggles with figuring stuff out, but I won't let her quit.
right.
You still gotta pump them up and give them some motivation, like you can do it. But
Right.
at the same time, let them figure it out.
Yeah, you can't do everything for them because now you spoil them. And that's gonna be their knee-jerk reaction too. Let me go ahead, soon as things go awry, let me call mom and let me call daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you're not giving them the proper tools to function as an adult. You know what I mean? Because like I said, or even function without you. To think about it, you ain't guaranteed to see it till they're 18.
Yeah. You're not gonna be that forever.
Yeah, you're not, so if you can't function, they can't function without you. You handicap them. It's kind of like almost.
Yeah, you are.
You know what I'm saying?
If they can't fix anything, they can't clean,
Right.
they can't cook for themselves or put
Right.
all
might-
of that. Just
it
basic things.
Right. Yeah, it might feel good to give them what they want, up front to cut that corner. It feels good, but hey, you got to go through that rough patch in order to, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In order to get the great benefit, you know what I'm saying? And it's all leading to something. I mean, same thing. I mean, let's bring a little bit of profession in this right now, and then we'll keep on going with the clips. I see this all the time. It's like in our profession with sales, it's like, everybody wants the actual shortcut. And if the shortcut ain't there, they don't know how to function. They lose their mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you don't know how to react. Like in times like this, when the market is down, everybody's trying to hold on to them cuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't, they lose their mind. They, and they don't know how to overcome and problem solve
Mm-hmm.
when the heat is on.
Yeah, you know who's built for it and who's not, especially the ones that jumped in when it was easy during like COVID.
Right.
And it's getting tough now. The ones that's jumping out,
Right.
They're the ones that can't cut it.
Right. Well, and that's what you're gonna be like throughout. Like, every time you're gonna hit, everything's not gonna be an easy ride. I know Instagram and all that make it look like everybody just keep leading. All right, I just ate some food and tell them how I feel, and all of a sudden I'm at the BET Award. Everybody make it look like it's easy, and and a lot of people. I had somebody say this, a professional person say this to me. You gotta sometimes, make it happen. Like, everything ain't just gonna be easy. Like, if it ain't an easy process, then it ain't for you. Nah, if that's the case, I wouldn't left. I would have been exactly where I'm at. You know what I mean? So it's nah. I definitely don't agree with that. It's like, it's thy will be done. You know what I'm saying?
And I was just having a conversation about this morning. It's like, I don't really believe in motivation. Like,
right.
You got to have drive, because
right. You
as
gotta
quick
drive.
as you can get motivated, you can lose it.
Right.
So if you don't have it in you, Like it's a saying we got down south: if it ain't on me, it's in me. If it ain't in you, then you just gonna be a fly by night.
Right, no doubt. We'd like to welcome Corey to the podcast, man. You want to do a little quick introduction, then we're doing a little deep conversation today.
All right. Corey Smith, broker owner, Commodore Mortgage.
Got you. Just to bring up the speed real quick. You didn't,
Sweet.
Just to bring up the speed real quick. We like 3 clips in already, but I got like 3 or 4 more. But we're talking about we did a little portion of one before, but we're talking about that tough love, man, that masculine love that's kind of missing in the society, man. So sometimes we need that tough love in order to make it become functional people. And we're gonna relate it to the profession here shortly. But it's just like I think that's what's missing in society, period. It's just like everybody want the easy way and everybody don't want to go against the grain, and everybody don't want to offend, and everybody don't want to be uncorrect, politically correct, and all this stuff here. I think we got too pampered, too soft, and then it's when it hits the fan, you can't function because you've been pampered the whole time. You know what I mean? So
all these doggone participation trophies.
Yeah, too many. Let's see what we got the next clip.
Kicked me out when I was 16 because I didn't have the $400 for his rent payment that I had been making for 4 years in a row. And he kicked me out for those $400, and I had to struggle. And now I know why he kicked me out for those $400, right?
It probably hurt him. It hurt him to kick you out.
Hell yeah, but guess what? It taught me a valuable lesson that when things are due, you pay them. My dad told me the first day of the month, every month, you got to have my $400. Or you could go look for your own place.
Hey, shout out to your pops, bro.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's a form of love.
Back then, I hated him, though.
Yeah, exactly.
We would bump heads, you know what I'm saying?
And you're like, damn.
And now I'm like, bro, that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Right. Thank you, Dad.
I think for the next generation to be able to accomplish something that's going to be impactful to the next generation after them, they need to struggle, man. That kicked me out when I was 16 because I didn't have the $400 for his.
I mean,
I'm going for real right there.
I mean, that sound outrageous nowadays, but nah, that's real. Like I had to work with my grandfather. I didn't get like school clothes money, so I worked with my grandfather every summer, like from the time I was like 12, 13 to like I was a senior in high school. So but I was the freshest because I worked all summer. You know what I'm saying? So when I was killing them at school, I was flying. You know what I mean? Because I had a job. I was making $5 a yard back then. That was nice money, like back then. You know what I mean? So I we'd be cutting like 10 yards a day. So I was making like $50 a day. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was so fly. I was started out. You know what I mean? Starter jacket, starter set.
You had a crease in your jeans, huh?
Yeah, we ain't do the crease too much. We ain't do the crease too much in Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was the bow jeans. I was the David Robinson with the pump. I was like the first one I had now. You know what I'm saying? So I was fly, but you ain't had no other bills. I spend all my money on clothes. But that taught me a valuable lesson is that if I want to eat, I gotta work. I had to, I know you probably don't believe I'm mixed.
Mixed with what?
Mixed with
what? What we talking about?
My grandmother Native American. You know what I'm saying? But you couldn't tell. I came out Charles Barkley colored, and after working my grandfather,
working them summers, they get you dark.
Man. I ain't got I'll show you a baby picture, man. I got like about 2-3 shades darker, man. You know what I mean?
You had that reverse Michael Jackson.
Different. You know what I'm saying? That's different than your pops kick you out the house, though.
Nah, I mean that's. I mean, I got not really kicked out, but once I was, on college, it was don't come back. You know what I'm saying? I've been on my own since college. I ain't never looked back. So and I got out. Yeah,
Dude was 16 though. That's different.
So you say you
a grown man? Though.
You went on the hook for $400 a month at 16.
Right. I agree with him. I mean, I like look what he said. He taught him that things need to be due on time. You know, that's a lesson.
But it's real. It's a lesson for sure.
Yeah,
Here's the other thing, you know what I'm saying, that I think is good to think about is that could have turned out completely different, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Obviously, he's on a podcast. He turned out successful. Now he's just like, well, I see the value in what my pops did.
Right.
In this generation, there's a lot of kids that's going to see that as you didn't help me out when I really needed you. You're the reason why I'm failing now. You're the reason why I'm homeless. You're the reason why that one decision was the reason why I didn't do as good as I could have done. So even though, you know what I'm saying, you give tough love in its great form, just understand that it could very well go the opposite direction as well.
Yep.
I think we got too soft. I think that's, you know, and like I said, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you, but
it's soft and no accountability. Accountability is the other thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like
this generation
it's so far outrageous. It got so far the other way that just the basic premise of, hey, you're a working age, you need to pay me. This to show you, like, hey, this ain't no joke out here. Because I think they had a episode of the Cosby Show like that, right? Where Malcolm, what's his name?
Yeah.
Phil.
I wanted him to he was talking about how much money he was gonna make or something like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed him kind of the same thing. They were playing with him, but he was for real. But that kind of showed him, you know, like, hey, it's real out here. You know, so but I think it's got so outrageous, it seems outrageous now. But that working with my grandfather, that taught me a lot. You know, and most of the time it wound out good because, you know, you used to it. And I think Sean said this a couple of shows back. He's like, man, like I've been through it all. So once it hit, it's like you already know. So would you rather be unprepared and be nice about it, and be unprepared when the bills hit that they calling you, or they already know it's due? I got to do what I got to do because that 400 hitting. You know what I'm saying? Or I get kicked out. Yeah, it's already implemented in you.
Now, and with us saying that, going back to what Corey said about it flipping the wrong way, you just said I got to do what I got to do, and you got some of them out there that's gonna say I'm gonna do what I have to do to get that $400, legal or unlegal or illegal. Right. So that's one thing you gotta kind of temper too.
Like I said, this depends. It's not, you can't
because I personally know people who went into that game because people at the home were saying you need to give me this money.
You got to go get it.
Yeah, and that was the only thing they knew.
I think
is that the parents' fault though? They didn't teach them.
Yeah, like I think
that's what I'm talking about. You as a parent though, you know, hey, you got to go get a job, not you got to go do this or rob people or stuff like that. Yeah. So you definitely have to show them the way. Yeah.
Right. I think it's like if you doing it because you really need the bread, and you like you just kind of all right, give me the bread or that's it. I'm just doing it out of spite. I think that could backfire. But if you're doing it, all right, I'm doing this and I'm setting this aside, for your college fund, hey, because I need the bread. I'm just showing you like, hey.
Right, I'm investing it for you.
I'm investing it for you. You know what I'm saying? So, and then not only that is that I got to teach you other stuff too. I got to teach you that morals. I got to teach you, ethics. I got to teach you all that stuff too. So that way you ain't even thinking about it. That wouldn't even cross your mind to go do something illegal because it's a myriad of what I'm teaching you. You know what I'm saying? So you just can't leave that out there like that. Then they can take it like that. Nah, I'm teaching you morals and ethics and stuff. Like, nah, you can't poison the community. You can't, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to sell your soul for $1. You're still going to have, get the dollar the right way. You know what I mean? So you can't just, leave it out there like that. Then they leave it the choice. But I think it's a good thing. I mean, if it's done properly, I couldn't do it because of my situation. But, again, they tie our hand. But I think it's part of that was missing. What's the next one? I think the next one is Barry's joint.
I put one up today. I was gonna tell you about it, but I said we're gonna
I seen that. I think I sent it to
this ain't it though.
Oh, it's not
cool.
Let me tell you something, daddy love and mama love ain't the same. Your child can go in the basketball game and play 75 minutes and get 2 points. And you can be like, that's my baby. When he get in our house, I'm like, boy, if you're going to be out there that long and don't do nothing, sit your butt down. This ain't what God birthed you to do. If God is a father, then let me tell you how he loves. Those whom he loves, he chastises. You got to understand the difference between punishment and love. Some love says, I'm not letting you get away with it. Some love says, you are better than that. Some love says, let me call you on the carpet. And if it means our relationship is a little rocky for a few weeks, then it's okay if I'm securing your future. So stop calling your husband mean and just call him a man. And when you have been born into a home where there wasn't one, you don't recognize one when you see one. So you don't recognize a man when you haven't seen one, then the only definition of man you can come up with is the one that was given to you by somebody who came before. Most people who define men define it from their pain, not their intellect.
Get it on now. Preaching.
I agree with that.
Be
If
preaching.
you don't know what being a man is, then yeah, you're not gonna articulate that to you. Like I say, you're gonna think they mean.
Right.
They ain't being mean.
Right. A-hole and stuff like that. Even my limited I was thought, come across as an a-hole. Now it's just trying to teach you life lessons so you be equipped. So like somebody got to do it. That's the role. That's the role is protect and provide. You're trying to protect in the future tense. So you know, if I could teach you judo and kung fu, and that might protect you in the heat of the moment, shit. That that's part of what you like to slide down. But it's like it's I think if you didn't know that, like he said, I think it's all meld together because we a generation raised by single mothers, so it never was displayed like it should have been predominant. Like we looking at the TV and stuff like that. We're looking at Cliff Huxtable and stuff.
Fortunately for me, I had both parents and I had uncles and everything too. So
right.
Like, if it ain't a father in the home, you gotta find some kind of father figure somewhere.
Yeah, and they're out there. It's just some don't pursue it or look for it.
Right.
Because there are men out there that will help guide.
Right. We got I single grandparents, uncles, and then we got
uncles, cousins,
coaches. Really, we ain't really get till we play ball. Yeah. Got that tough love, like what I'm saying, like, and it was a shock too, because we so used to being pampered. Like I remember that. Real quick story, and I'll let Corey go ahead. I remember I had missed practice. Because I first of all, let's start from again. I came in late to class one day, so the teacher snitched on me, told the coach. So we had to do bear crawls back then. That was punishment. I don't know if you remember that. You just crawled the fence, crawled back.
Hate that.
And man, we in Louisiana, so the mosquitoes, it just had finished raining. So the mosquitoes tore my ass up. I'm talking about I look like what was that Fantastic Four?
Rock, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, the Rock Man. I look like that. So so mama took me to the hospital, like, all right, so I missed school the next day and I missed practice. So the coach like, yeah, what happened to you yesterday? Everybody like, what happened to you yesterday? Like, man, I just came from the hospital, man. I had to take Benadryl and stuff like that. You're like, all right, well, Carl, hit it again because you missed practice again. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. It makes you tougher.
Yep. So like, ain't no sympathy, man. This is the penalty for missing practice.
But here's the thing is that people understand, what I'm saying, even though you do it out of spite, you may be pissed off. You know what I'm saying? You may be pissed off at the coach cussing them out the whole way. Right. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, it allows for you to push your limits and then you understand what you can and can't do.
Right.
So it's a discipline thing, but you know what I'm saying, I actually think it helps you out with growth.
Right.
But the point I wanted to make was I think sports helps a lot of people out if you kind of look at it from this perspective. A lot of the kids that I played sports with growing up, all the parents was a little bit different in their approach. You got a chance to see their approach. You had the baby mother, you know what I'm saying? That was the single mother, you know what I'm saying? That babied their child. You got a chance to see the alcoholic daddy, you know what I'm saying? That was essentially whooping their ass on the whooping their child's ass. And then you got a chance to see as a grown-up, once you keep up with them and you grow up, you kind of see the end result. And that kind of helps you as a parent to understand, okay, well, this is what I see the results was. This is what was successful. I can take from that to help me parent, to help me not only just be a hard ass dad, but be something of value to where they can be successful in the future. Not a sorry ass, but then not so hard where, you know what I'm saying, they got to figure they got to go out there and knock somebody's head off in order to be successful as well too. You got to find that happy balance, that happy medium.
Right. Y'all, Barry, CJ, y'all want to go in on that?
I was gonna say the only drawback is like by the time you get to the coach, years have been passed, so you had years of not having that discipline from a man. So like you were saying, B, it was a shock. Like if you had it off the rip, then you kind of go into it with a different approach.
Right. Well, if it's already baked into the culture though, too. Like if you go like in Middle East right now, it's already in the culture. You know, it's like, they discipline is different, and somebody was saying this online the other day, is like, that's the basics, like the community, like we as a people, don't forget that we were taken from different tribes and all thrown together. Community is like a bunch of tribes of people that have same values that kind of chose to all live together and build from there, and build like different families and stuff coming together to build. So we got all thrown together, and we not necessarily liked each other. You know what I mean? So we never really got like a communal thing. So that's why we was that's why they call it a project. It was an experiment. So like we ain't necessarily like each other. So that's why there's a lot of feuding and stuff like that. So like communities come together because, and I'm looking at when I went out there in Cleveland and other stuff, that's the community. It's all like they share values. You know what I mean? So I think, like I said, if it's not baked in, and you never seen it, you don't understand it, and it's weird, and you think it's something wrong with that person. You see what I'm saying? So you automatically blame them. Oh, the daddy, daddy tripping. You know what I'm saying? So so it's like, but if it's baked in, like everybody's on the same accord, like then you could change
from day one when they come out of the womb. They need to be, to be on children, especially our boys. And like I said, even for single parents, there's some men out there that will do it. But you're gonna have to go out there and say something.
Right.
Especially when it's baked in from a young age. I think when you think about a lot of these foreign cultures, you know what I'm saying, it's baked in from a young age. Either you're gonna be a doctor, you're gonna be a lawyer, or you're going to be one of these type of things right here. And it's hell to pay if you choose to go a separate route. And it's not just, you know what I'm saying, we're not just talking about Indians. We're talking about, like, you know what I'm saying, I've had a conversation with some African people, you know what I'm saying? And in the African culture, it's groomed from yay high. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you're going to go get that higher education, and you're going to go be something better than, nothing wrong with it, but you know what I'm saying, to work at Popeyes or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying, it's no debate. Correct. So it's no debate, but it's ingrained in them. So when you get up in age and you have that conversation, they don't take it hard because we've had this conversation since I was 3 or 4 about what I'm going to be.
Yeah, it's already baked into the culture as the social norm.
It's baked into them. Yeah.
Right. Do me a favor, CJ. I sent you like a couple of days ago. They had a list on Threads, of the top households in U.S. Like Jewish was at the top. We was at the very bottom. Annual household income.
All right, I'll find it after Mary.
It's hold on. Let me resend it to you. I'll just pull it up.
All right.
Let me resend it. But yeah. All right, I just resent it to you. But pull that up show you something, and then there's a reason for this. Like, they got a culture. And then I think a culture comes from a community. It's like if we around each other, but we don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's the biggest it could get, huh? I'll go ahead and read it. But at the top, this is the annual household income, in America. So Jewish is at the top, 129,000. Indian is 100,000. Filipino 83. Taiwanese 82. Sri Lankan 74. Japanese 72. Malaysian 70. Chinese 69. Pakistani. White Americans, Koreans. I ain't gonna read all of Indonesian, Thai, Bangladeshi, Nepali, Hispanic, and Latino 42,000. African American at the very bottom, $35,000 a year annual household income. So what are these at the top got? Because I got a lot of Filipino brothers and Indian brothers. They got a culture, and then they got a strong masculine culture where the father's in there, and then you're gonna be this. Our family is doctors. Our family is this. You know what I mean? Yep. They used to have, like back in the days, a family crest and all that stuff. Like, it's like a heritage and stuff like that. So all that's kind of gone. It's all free spirit. Do what you want to. You can be anything, whatever. No game plan. So if you ain't got no game plan, if you don't know what you're shooting at, how you gonna hit it? And like that's what a lot of kids see. Like they're trying to figure it out still in the 30s and 40s, still trying to figure it out. You ain't got the guidance.
Right. Yeah.
And
then if your parents don't know, they can't teach you what they don't know.
Right. So it's all, but I think men sharpen men like steel sharpen steel. Like I think the communities, I think we need to get back to the community type stuff where let's all buy this piece of land, and people that we think alike, we all kind of group together. We all got the same values, so that's the thing. We got I'm Muslim here, I'm Jews here, what I'm saying? I'm Christian here, and they all trying to come together, and we all arguing about super stuff. So get with people that like you, and y'all build, we got our tribe. I think just because we all skin folk, that mean we all kin folk. I think we need to break it down a little bit further, and the communal people, and they build from there. Your community, and then you protect that community. You know what I mean? I think that's the way it is. I think we lost that. Once we lost that, the tribal is, then the tribes come to 3-4 tribes come together, form a nation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how it was done. That's how we always used to do it. All right, you can roll the next one, but I just wanted to make that point. I think we got like a couple of more.
We as Black bury our egos. 95% of Black-owned businesses are sole proprietorships. It means you employ nobody but yourself. Let's assume you're here in Charlotte and you have a business and you're a stationery company, and there's 6 of you Black-owned businesses do the same exact thing. And each of you employ how many people? 1. Means that your business, by definition, can only get to a certain size. Now, if in fact you would come together and create a business of scale, you would have more. If JP Morgan Chase and Bank One can merge, I'll be damned if Pookie and Ray Ray can't merge. But what happens is Pookie and Ray Ray want to have a gold-plated business card that says, I'm the CEO. Here's the truth. 100% of nothing is nothing. Would you rather own 100% of a company that generates $100,000 or 20% of a company that generates $10 million? We as Black folks need to bury our ego.
So I give you Barry first. I get that off his Instagram.
I saw that and I was like, oh, that just hit me right when I saw it. But I know we had talked about it several times, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, coming together, and that's one of the things that we lack as a people, coming together.
Right.
Go back to that, what you call it, collaboration over competition. We always trying to compete with each other, trying to outdo each other. Or like you say, if you want to be the CEO, I'm the CEO. It's me.
Are you the chief? Ain't got no Indians though. That's what I'm saying. The first word in CEO is chief. You know what I'm saying? You know, so like, man, you the CEO and you ain't got no employees.
Yeah, I like how you said 100% of nothing is nothing.
Right.
So,
That's facts. That's facts. But a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, and when we talk about like the conversation we just had, we talk about is culture ingrained in you young.
right,
And I think a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, in African American, you know what I'm saying, it's ingrained in us young to have those egos,
right,
to have those $300 shoes.
right,
You know what I'm saying? To have the gold chains, even though, you know what I'm saying, we late on bills. You know what I mean?
right.
It's ingrained in us from a young age to have that flossy mentality instead of being financially responsible.
Right. Well, again, I always, quote the original "White Man Can't Jump." What Woody Harrelson said, like, black folks would rather look good and lose than look bad and win. So it's all about the look. If I can look a certain way, look like I'm winning, no matter. It's all about the now and all about how I feel. So it's like, I think we could look at who's at the top of the chain right there. That list I just pull out, the Jewish community. They, 34 times they money circulate, and they make sure that everybody get on. Ain't nobody left behind. So it's like they kind of look out for each other. So it's like that's the main thing that's different. Like they don't have that same ego. You know what I mean? Where I got to outshine you to make me feel better. So it's like they have a communal sense. Like, all right, like if the community shining, that make me feel good. So it's like a different,
And Dr. Claude Anderson said in his book Empowernomics, we do like just like he was saying, with one person, 6 people had the same company doing the same thing in the same place.
Right.
It's like we grow horizontally too much instead of growing vertically.
Right.
Like we need to come together so we can start building and scaling, and we'll get a lot further. I got a video I'm gonna show real quick.
Right. Mm-hmm. And while you loading that up, we get that a lot. Like even if you have a successful business, instead of, hey, let me get on underneath you and we'll try to compete against you. You see what I'm saying? Open up shop and compete against you as opposed to like merging together. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He represents beautiful, educated, moneyed Black people all over America. And what you will notice about these beautiful Black people all over America is that everybody is doing their own thing. There is no power here, brothers and sisters. We are a disconnected people. We are powerless in disconnection. This is where all the power is. You see? This is where all the power is. Whether you are at the center of your own network or part of someone else's network, this is where the power is. You see? This is where all the power is. Whether you are at the center.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah,
that's a good visual.
Right.
Too many people want to be at the center. That's the problem.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I think it's an ego thing. I think it's all ties to the game. I think let me tie it together. I got to do it. You know what I mean? I think when you take that masculine energy out, we the guiders, the directors. Let me give you a little bit more context so I don't seem that outrageous. They had a show where they separated the men from the women and put them on a deserted island. I forgot the name of it. If anybody in the chat, go ahead and put that in the chat. If anybody that's watching think of the name, know what I'm talking about. But they gave them, they had them survive on this deserted island. So they separated the men from the women and put them on separate sides of the island. All right. By day one, men already had a hierarchy. They had a leader. They were making camps. They were making fire. The women wanted to share everything. And they it was a disaster. They wound up having to cut the show because they couldn't decide a hierarchy.
That's what Kevin Samuels. I think it was like Bear Grylls.
Right.
One of them joints.
Right. So I'm saying that I'm relating that to what you're saying is like, I think women don't know how to functionally get along like we do. You know, they'll get along just to get along. However, but when it comes to getting stuff going, they're gonna be a little bit more catty. You know, and they're gonna be, you know, they're gonna argue for the sake of arguing, as opposed to, all right, let's go ahead and, all right, you good at this, let's go ahead, you do this. Let me do, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna figure it out. Let's you know, because we know we gotta eat and stay warm. So men gonna figure it out and keep it rolling. So if you take that element out of the community, of the society, then you kind of get that, you know, everybody's going to be individual type thing. Am I making sense? So like, if we are raised by women, we kind of get that characteristic. Like, we want to be solo artists, you know, instead of working with everybody. Men will work together and we'll figure it out. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter, but you know, for the greater good. Hey, if we all could eat, you know what I'm saying? Shoot. It don't matter who got the biggest piece.
That's the problem.
Yep.
You know,
remember that old when they do these shows where they'll a kid will be passing something out to their brother or sister, say 1 for you, 1 for me, 2 for you, 1, 2 for me.
Right.
3 for you, 1, 2, 3 for me. It's like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it all. You know, like you say, community.
Look at it in the wild, like, you know, packing gorillas, packing lions and stuff. You got the alpha, then you got the other males as well, the beta males and stuff like that. But they all run in the pack. You know what I'm saying? They got a hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? Even in the wild. You know what I'm saying? So, but that, without that hierarchy, you know, shoot, that all falls apart. There ain't no pack. They can get attacked, and you know. So, but we, you know, it's just naturally the yin and the yang. That's this what it is. You take that out, you get chaos. You know, and that's what we the canary in the coal mine. We fell victim to that, and we still suffering because of it. You know, this is what it is. You know. So, I had to connect the dots, man. I think that's part of it, man. You got the next. I think we got a couple more. Right?
Hold on, let me see. I think that was it.
Hold
on. No, I got one.
I know they got a couple more for sure.
Let's see. Let's skip one. Here we go.
Critical. That's how men are. The reasons why children do better with both parents, intact families, is because they receive unconditional love and support from mum, but very conditional high standards from father, who is there to remind you that this is not good enough, telling him he needs to work harder, telling him he's going to be a loser if he doesn't work hard. The point of a father is to initiate you into a more tough persona. That's the whole point of having a masculine figure in your life. So if you meet a man who is hypersensitive to his dad just being a dad, chances are he's going to be disconnected from his masculinity. He doesn't understand the masculine version of love. He has an idea that love should just be constantly being nice, constantly being polite, constantly believing in you. So then what happens when you get into a relationship with a man like this? They cannot take criticism. Ever. They act almost childlike, and they get sensitive, and they almost act very feminine. They act girly when you give them feedback. Men are critical. That's how men are.
Right. So I'll let y'all go in on that before I get in. But I think it's unadulterated facts. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I believe the mother is for nurturing, and the father is your discipline.
Right.
Yeah, cause shoot, back in the day, last thing we wanted to hear was wait till I tell your daddy.
Yeah, I know that's right.
wait till your daddy get home. Like, dang.
Correct.
About to be a wrap.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna end a good way.
Right. Nope. And you just hoping they forget.
I know, right? You try to go to bed early, take a bath, go to bed early.
Catch you as soon as you get in that shower.
Right. But the thing is, like I said, I definitely believe that. Like I said, I see like what she was saying is like these young guys is disconnected from masculine energy that you can't, I seen that when I was mentoring. This was back in my 30s when I was mentoring these my students and stuff like that. It struck me like, because I thought everybody, even though I was raised by a single mother, I had like, coaches and grandfathers and stuff like that, so even with that, I thought I was, not super duper hard, but, when I seen these young dudes, my little brother age, like, that's 10 years younger than me, like, man, the hypersensitivity, you can't criticize them at all. They get in their super duper feelings. It's like, man, I can't, how you go, it's not, they call it hating. That's when the hating came out. Man, you hating. Like, nah, bro, I'm trying to, if I'm a ball player and I see you shooting the ball like Bill Cartwright and you missing it, like, now you might want to try, move your elbow like this here, and that's just a nature of me. I'm going to try to, I'm not correcting you to little boy your cap on you. I'm correcting you because I want to see you hit the shot.
Shit, we're doing that too, though. You got to have thick skin around us, boy. We're going to joke. We're going in.
But now, when I first start, mentoring, I didn't. That struck. I thought that was strange. They cannot take criticism at all. Yeah. So I had to step back. Like, God damn, y'all sensitive. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Like, y'all can't say nothing to them. They go.
Yeah, this new generation, yeah, man. You look at them funny, they break down.
They gonna break down, start crying.
Yeah,
man.
Right.
Gonna run to the car like red.
Yeah, nothing negative. Like, come on. When you get out there in the real world, you're gonna be having breakdowns because people don't give a damn about all that.
Man, I'll tell you another thing. In my day, like I said, we had to have thick skin because, we had the ribbon sessions, man. We used to be high level ribbers, man. Like, they so you had to, either you gonna fold or you had to come back at them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
yes, that's how it was.
Yeah. So it don't matter how quiet you was on that bus, they're gonna get you. Like, So you gonna fold or they're gonna get you every day. You're gonna be the butt of everybody.
You learn how to stand your ground.
Right. So stand your ground or they're gonna keep messing with you.
Yeah, you got to.
You know what I mean?
That's what they looking for. They looking for the ego.
Get them off you.
Yeah, nowadays you probably get suspended for something like that for River. You probably go tell the principal and all that stuff. So it's a different ball game, man. So that's what kind of gave me thick skin as well. Like, man, I got ribs since I was, first grade on. So like I got so good, I had to get good at it. I became cold at it. So
yep.
This is what it is, man. I think we got one more. I know we got one more for me.
Nah, that was it.
We got one that was about from Houston Vantage Homes. I sent you.
Okay. Oh, the old school joint?
Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing to do with the tough love.
Got something to do with the rates though.
Yeah, it's good information though. Cause I saw that earlier. That was crazy.
Yeah. I'm about to twist it to because that's where I wanted to land. This is where I wanted to go to. So yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy, bro.
Is getting more expensive to buy a home, even though home prices are remaining relatively stable. The reason, as home buyers like Roberta Sorgan will tell you, is the high interest rate, pushing mortgage payments to $700 and $800 a month for a $60,000 home.
It was very high, but we have no choice when you want to buy a house, and that's what the mortgage rates are.
For home builders, the high interest rate is just like a massive migraine headache. Sunblessed Condominiums in Sunrise, for example, was selling its homes exceptionally well when it first opened in January, but now with the interest rates at 14% for conventional mortgage, sales are going down the drain.
The amount of buyers is definitely starting to slow down, and it seems that if it goes much higher, it's like a faucet. You could just take it and turn it off.
Logically, though, bankers say they will never return to the days of the 8.5% mortgages in the 1970s because they say it's just too risky.
Nobody at this point is willing to make a fixed rate long-term loan at at the old lower interest rates, even at rates of 10 or 11% now. And the reason is that we still have a large amount of old fixed rate loans on our books.
How long will the mortgage rates remain high? Well, probably until the financial people start seeing a drastic drop off in home buying. It's an old rule of business. When demand falls, prices, in this case interest rates, usually go down too. In Sunrise, Jack Rothholtz, Channel 10 Eyewitness News on the Business Beat.
So I'll go ahead and react
That's
first.
basic. Yeah, that's basic economics.
Well, I wanted to show
Demand.
CJ how it relates to tough love. So, you know, we're spoiled now. We're a generation of especially the millennials. We're used to the 2, 3, 4% interest rates.
And that's
you know?
crazy because it didn't last but a year
It's
and a
all
half?
about 10 years, 10-year span. But we got spoiled, and you're looking at something like in '84 that was about 40 years ago, right? That they were paying 14, 15% interest rate, and they said like decade before that it was low at 8.5. You know what I mean? So that was low back then. You know, and I know everything got more expensive now. However, my point is that we've been conditioned to be, if we don't have it 100% our way, it ain't gonna be no way, and then you wind up hurting yourself. So, like the woman said on there, if you want to buy a home, you have no choice, to go ahead and buy a home. So it's like, again, our favorite cliche here, like, hey, don't forget that renting is 100% interest. So, like, people that complain about the interest rate, if you'd had that, the elders, the people that's, they probably retired now. So, but people that bought homes back then, they're celebrating because, as rates drop, they refinance to a lower rate, and they bought the house for, like I said, $60,000. That same house they probably bought for $60,000 worth $1 million right now. So if you'd have been renting all those years, 40 years, you have nothing right now. So it's like, all right, we get too spoiled. And like it's you're gonna have to toughen it up, bite the bullet, get you a house. It's gonna be for the greater good, and it's gonna help you for development later on, especially when you retire.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I have to do with tough love. But I'll let y'all go in.
I see where you went there with that, and that's one thing about sitting down and being a real advisor. You got to sit there and like break it down for your client. It's like, hey, I know you think this, but this is what we're seeing. This is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because people only know what they see in the media.
Right.
Yeah.
And the media can be misleading. Like the whole thing with the lawsuit for the National Association of Realtors. They're making sellers think they don't have to pay buyer's agent. Like you never had to from the jump. But now they're thinking like, oh yeah, I don't have to. Okay, well, if you do that, your house is gonna sit, because especially here, how many buyers can pay their agents in addition to their closing costs and down payment?
Right.
So if you don't educate people, then they're just gonna go with the narrative that they're seeing on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, education. Got to talk to them, let them know what's going on. And I mean, and then even with the interest rates, like, so what you gonna do? Sit here forever and wait for what are you trying to get the interest rates to? 0%, 2%, what? And then I explained to him, I said, the interest rates got that low because the world shut down.
Right.
So if you want it that way again, I guess the world gonna have to shut down again.
Shut down again.
I mean, that's how the rate. That's why the rates got so low.
It's impossible to guess and figure out what the bottom is.
Yeah.
Like what you think the bottom of that joint could still be going down, or it could just cut right back up on you, and you got to buy in a worse situation.
Yeah.
Right. Corey, you want to go in on that?
When it comes to things like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, rates is a tough thing when you talk about the market. I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand, and like B and C said, you know what I'm saying, it's an educational thing. A lot of people want to actually wait on the rates to drop. They want to wait on the Feds to drop the rates. But truth be told, as soon as the Feds drop the rates, the price of the house is going to go high.
Yep.
So it's kind of like 6 one way, half a dozen another. But when you have people that are uneducated and they're listening to other uneducated people, then they make dumb decisions at the end of the day. Just because mom and them tell you, you know what I'm saying, just because, they want you to do good, they're trying to tell you what they know from their limited knowledge. They're trying to tell you what they know in your best interest. But the truth be told is that you have to get the education yourself so you can make the best decision for yourself. And waiting for interest rates to drop, or what you think you're saving money when interest rates drop, you're actually not. But it's all education.
Let me tie it one step further as well. Since we talk about social norms, it's become like real soft and real lax and real, telling you what you want to hear as opposed to what you need to hear. So I come in as the bad guy and we tell them this information, and it seems real masculine because it's pragmatic and it's realistic. And we seem like the bad guy. We seem mean. We seem out of the ordinary. But however, history tells you the same thing. It's like, look at the rates before, look at, we've gotten to a point where it was out of the norm that rates were that low. So rates are kind of back to where they be, they might dip a little bit, maybe to 5%, but they're not going to go back to 2 and 3%. So if that's what you're waiting on, you're going to be waiting on forever, so, and then higher rates are signs. Don't forget that Reaganomics, a sign of a strong economy, as rates climb, that's what that means, so if you cut the rates like that, they cut the rates to stimulate the economy. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, they want you buying.
They want you buying. So they cut the rates so that, because buying slowed up. You see, that's how that works. So higher rates mean the economy is strong. So what we have it is like Barry just said, we came from a pandemic where the world shut down. So it was like the rubber band effect. It had to pull back. They cut it so everybody started buying, but they had to. Then we seen rapid inflation, so they had to hurry up and spike it back up to slow that inflation down. So now it's going to settle back down, but it's not going to settle back down. No 2s and 3s. That's not the norm.
Right? No.
So you got to get that out your head.
Free money.
Yeah, you got to get that out your head. I know we seem like we mean. I know it's very masculine. I know but it's that tough love. I'm telling you constructively so you could be better and develop yourself later on. And don't forget, you always could change the rate. You always could buy down the rate. You always could, you always could change the rate. It's not and also you control the rate. So you can buy, put more towards the principal and you change that rate. So complaining about it not gonna do anything. Waiting is not gonna be to your favor to wait. You might as well go in and get in there and suck it up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not. I mean, am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Here's the thing to add on to that. For a lot of people, they need to understand that you probably don't have that much in savings. You know what I'm saying? So you need all the help that you can get. When it comes to different markets, now is the market that you're going to get help from the sellers. Once they start dropping interest rates, and then now demand is higher, the prices of houses start to get higher, you're going to be hard pressed to get that same help from the sellers. So now you're coming out of pocket with all that money to close on a deal. You're coming out of pocket with the down payment. And I got a shocker for you. Down payment assistance is not going to pay everything for you.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to wait. You definitely want to get in now.
Right.
Period.
I know it sounds like a sales pitch and all that stuff, but it is. I'm just telling you what we know. Everything. And it's only for really the millennials on down, the Gen X on down. Some of us. I mean, people that was alive or remember in the 80s, they remember, even the early 2000s. You remember the rate the rates were in the 90s and 80s. So
some folks with amnesia out here.
I mean, but I think that's more. They remember. I think that's more of the media. I think that's media listen to mama and daddy. I mean, not mama and auntie. I think that's what that is. I think if you sit there and look at it like numbers, and I must add one more layer before we get out of here. I think we pushed too much. We want perfection. I think we want the Taj Mahal, the first go round. Huh?
You think so? You said perfection when we purchase a house?
Yeah, I think they want perfection, the first rip.
Yeah, out the gate.
Out the gate. And they think buying a new house equals perfection, I guess. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, but they want the perfect neighborhood, the perfect, Oprah Winfrey closets. You make $60,000 a year. So you got to be realistic on what you could afford, and then, live within your means of what you could afford. So, and the means are changing. So, as inflation, I used to be able to $100 of groceries would be top level, middle, and the bottom, and probably a second cart. Now, $100 of groceries is just that, when you carry the baby part. What's that part called at the top of that when the child sit? What's that called? What's the technical name of that?
All part of the basket.
All part of the basket is $100 worth of groceries now. It's changed.
Yep.
And it is what it is. So you're not gonna be able to afford what grandma never want to be able to afford the footprint. Don't forget houses was $60,000 back then. You know what I mean? And I remember loaf of bread was 29 cents too. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
29 cents, damn, B.
Yeah, man. I know y'all had Mrs. Bears out here.
I don't remember 29
I
cents.
don't think I was in the world. I don't think I was in the world at that time, B. You aging yourself, B. You know what I'm saying?
You don't remember 29 cents?
Bread
was a lot cheaper back then, but 29 cents.
What was the cheapest bread y'all had? Loaf of bread.
You talking about 10 cents pops and all that other stuff? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody go ahead and say that.
Yeah, I mean,
wasn't nobody around back then, B.
Man, sodas just went to 50 cents. Like when I was in high school, they used to be like a quarter.
I remember them 50 cents.
You don't remember a quarter?
No, I don't remember a quarter. That's for soda.
How much are they now?
Probably $1.50.
Yeah. You be hard pressed to get that. Especially for a bottle. For a bottle, it ain't gonna be no less than $2 at a vending machine.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, $2. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know about that. So I know a Snicker about $2 now. I know y'all remember when Snicker was 50 cents.
I remember when you used to get $2 for $1. Yep, I remember that.
Go to the candy lady to get that Snicker.
Yeah,
or get the 9-laters.
Yeah, you get the cold cups for 50 cents too, man. The cold cups. Yeah, so all that's gone, man. It's nostalgia now. You know what I mean? That's gone. Like a $60,000 house, that's gone, man. Don't exist. So this is what it is, man. With that being said, man, we're gonna see y'all next week. Y'all tune in.
Peace.
See
you later.
But